Good afternoon, grade 7, and I'm going to tell you in this video about the work I'd like you to do today. You can see that I've made this page on our class site, so it's down here called Models of Note Taking, and the focus of the lesson today is the idea that to make your note taking the best it can be, writers pause to ask themselves what's working with your writing and think about how you can make it better. Writers have a vision of exactly what they're trying to do, as well as what makes that type of note-taking powerful. So what the learning's all about today is continuing the note-taking work that you're doing, using your note-taking to dig deeply into your text, and remembering that note-taking is a very deliberate process. We're trying to really understand our books well. So the lesson I'm going to teach you now, I'm going to show you some of my own note-taking. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I'm trying to do using this chart. And then there's a link here where I'm going to get you to go and explore some other students' note-taking and think very deliberately what kind of note-taking works best for you. To put this in a wider context, we're exploring our own books at the moment and digging and digging and digging. In about 2 or 3 classes time, you're going to start becoming a bit more deliberate with that to start turning it into your companion book. But at the moment, the unit is very deliberately not telling you exactly how and what to write for your companion book. We're wanting to take our time to take really good notes, to think deeply about the big ideas in the text. So here's the work I've been doing. Let me show you. This is a page I've just taken a photo of and put on the site from my notebook. And it's from our mentor text. Remember, if you want to go back to our mentor text, you can find it here. And I jotted a couple of things down from the mentor text that were interesting me. I'm fascinated by this magician. And so I noticed on page 3, remember I put the page number, on page 3, a true magician. He called the monkey partner. Really interested in the magician as someone who can kind of change things. There's something going on in this story about can our heroine, can Rosaura, can she have a different kind of life, or is she stuck being the helper's daughter? Is she stuck being the housekeeper's daughter? And there's another quote here that interested me. The final trick was wonderful. One of the children had to hold the monkey in his arms, and the magician would make him disappear. It should be him, I think. The magician would make him disappear. So a magician is somebody who can change things. Rosaura is not so sure about the place she has, etc. The next thing I did was a little bit of drawing. There we go, there's the magician, or is it the young man, I'm not sure, holding the monkey. See, I'm a very talented drawer. And I made a note here, and I'm using some different colours. The monkey is Rosaura also a performing monkey? I'm thinking, is the magician and the monkey put there to get me thinking a bit more deeply about the text, to make me think about people who are kind of stuck in particular roles? Can the magician really make people change? Can he really make the monkey disappear? Or are we stuck with who we are? Well, my next step, after writing exact quotes, doing a little bit of drawing, doodling, is what I decided to do, using some different colours for my thinking, is I've started to do a bit more of a long write. Here's what I wrote. The thing I'm wondering about is the way Rosaura is seen as different, but wants to be treated as the same. She's different because she's the housekeeper's daughter and doesn't have the social standing of the other girls. But she believes that because she is friends with Luciana, and she should be, because she's friends with Luciana, she should be treated as the same as the other girls at the party. What interests me about the monkey is that it represents a possible way of thinking about Rosaura as different. She's like the performing monkey, perhaps. Maybe this is the way that Senora Inez sees her, to some extent. And maybe Liliana Hecker, that's the writer, is encouraging me to think about what is a humane way to treat people. I've got a lot more I need to write about here, because there's so many things to explore around the way Rosara is kind of like the performing monkey, the way she's kind of paid in the end, but the way she wants to be seen as somebody who can change, who can be treated differently, the way we're kind of, we use our imaginations. Does the magician suggest that there's difference? There's something fascinating about the way the magician actually does change things for Rosara, because she's treated as a part of everything else that's going on for that time, because the boy who picks up the monkey is afraid, but Rosara isn't. So much stuff for me to write. What I want to show you that I'm doing here is that I've been focused first on the details, the exact quotes, but I've moved into the big picture. I've got lots of theories and I'm writing along to explore them. But I don't do just one thing or the other. I started with details and then I go to big picture. I didn't just stay with the details, and I didn't just start with the big picture, the themes. I worked between the two of them, because my writing has both the exact quotes, maybe some graphic organizers to help me think, and then I'm writing along to explore more deeply. What I'd like you to do now, while you're sitting on the carpet, is I'd like you to open your computers and I'd like you to click this link here. It'll take you to, so don't do this yet, just wait until I finish this video. It'll take you to this space here, which is some examples of writing from students from last year. It's where students from last year have put their notes, and you'll find a whole range of different kinds of note taking. Some you'll find that there's graphic notes, some you'll find it's just writing. Some you'll find they've got all kinds of interesting different techniques that they're using. I'd like you to have a look and work with your partner now. I'd like you to look at least 3 or 4 of them and have a conversation as you're working with your partner for the next 5 minutes, deciding what kind of notes really seem to work there, what might I try and what might I use as I'm working today. Your work, lost where I am on here, your work today will be to continue with your notes, using great notes that work up and down through the ladder of abstraction, going backwards and forwards between the details and the big ideas, using long writes to think deeply, and looking at other students' notes to get ideas about different and useful ways you can organize your notes. Whoops, I clicked that link again. So, work hard, take lots and lots of notes, use your partner as a resource. You need to be sitting with your partner, and enjoy your learning today.